Hi everybody, this is Caroline Sotheby and welcome to Up, Down, and Around Town. Well, a lot of things happened this past week. There was a motorcycle fundraiser that went around Elizabeth Park and then landed up going to Fritz Enterprise for a breakfast. But that was the motorcycles, and the Foundation 14 is the one that gets the benefit of the funds. It's an organization that is committed to supporting our military veterans and their passion for riding. And of course, a lot of them landed up at another Legion and enjoying the ride in the morning as well as breakfast and possibly lunch. Anyway, something else normally would be coming up this weekend at Wyandotte. It's Our Lady of Mount Carmel. We used to have the festival. This time, Our Lady of Scapular is going to have their grand raffle, but something else, and we're going to go to Mary Jo and find out what that's all about.
Hi, I'm Mary Jo Harling. I'm here representing the people at Our Lady of the Scapular Parish, and I'm here to tell you about some wonderful things and initiatives that we have at the church here. We are currently in the gym, and I'm here to show you these 15 marvelous little baskets that we have put together from donations from our parish and friends. Each basket has a gift card. The minimum gift card is $15. The maximum is over $50. And each basket's wonderful. The tickets for these baskets are $5 each. You can purchase them either online at the Our Lady of the Scapular.org website, and if you scroll down and look at the online giving, and you'll see the baskets, the area to be able to purchase them. If you scroll down on that website, you'll also see another video that will talk about each basket individually and give you more details. You can purchase it in person on Wednesday between 10 and 12, or on Saturday at between 5:30 and 6:30, or on Sunday, where the drawing is on Sunday at 6 o'clock for these baskets. But at 4 p.m. we're going to open up and you can come and see them and purchase them. We have a lot of other initiatives that we're very excited about here at Our Lady of the Scapular. And we also were just informed that we have made the top 5 in the Reader's Choice Award for festivals. And the top 5, there's going to be voting between August the 16th and the 30th at www.newsherald.com. And if you like our festival, we do greatly appreciate your vote. Another initiative that we are going to have is, although we don't have the festival itself, the big raffle is there. Again, tickets can be purchased at Our Lady of the Scapular.com website, and the drawing is also on Sunday at 7 p.m. here in the gym. You can purchase tickets in person on Wednesday between 10 and 12, on Saturday between 5:30 and 6:30 here in the social room, or on Sunday between 4 and 7 when they do the drawing. Another initiative that I wanted to tell you about is we are having monthly bake sales. Some of our special bakers are making their wonderful, scrumptious treats. The bake sales are very limited quantities. The flyers will be on that website that I keep talking about, and the orders all have to be pre-ordered, and the dates of the pre-orders are on the flyer, and they have to be prepaid. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about is the fact that we are going to have our resale shopping in October. I'm going to ask you to come back and watch the video, because Carolyn's been so nice. She said she'd come back and we'll have a preview for you online in the first week of October. The sale dates are going to be Thursday, October the 8th, and then it will be the 9th and the 10th and the 11th. And then the following week on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 16th, 17th, and 18th. We want to thank you for your time and thank you for your support of our parish, and we hope we can count on you for these wonderful initiatives. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mary Jo. All right, that was this coming week, and don't forget August 30th date. Another thing that we did a couple of weeks ago, we promoted just a little bit last week when we went to the dispatch team, and hey, we have to go to that. Apartment, or
What apartment?
I shouldn't say little, it's comparatively little.
I know,
Right.
but
But
what
you cover
apartment?
an awful lot of area.
Correct.
So who are you, and what is this department all about?
I'm Beth Kuziak, and I'm the lead dispatcher
Your last name?
here for the dispatch center. We dispatch for 4 different cities, which is Wyandotte, Allen Park, Lincoln Park, and Southgate, which comes to about 150,000 residents. I gotta do this. Okay, so this is Downriver Central Dispatch. We dispatch for 4 different cities, which is Wyandotte, Southgate, Allen Park, and Lincoln Park. Comes up to be about 150 residents that we dispatch for. And that's 911 and non-emergency calls.
Okay.
So we take probably 40% of all Downriver 911 calls in this room here
Who takes
throughout
care
the
of
year.
others?
Well, a lot of the cities have their own dispatchers. Taylor, Riverview, Trenton, all of them have their own. But for those 4 cities, but when you combine Downriver all together, we still take more, almost half.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You have your regulars. Apparently, you have to have an awful lot of experience to be able to take a call
Yep.
and decipher which direction you're going,
Right.
what departments are available.
Right. Right. And we do. Training to become a dispatcher here takes approximately 4 to 6 months.
Okay.
And most of the people that we have in dispatch have been here for quite a while. Shannon's been here 17, almost 18 years. Corky has been here 9. I've been here 11.
Okay.
So, and we have 8 full-time dispatchers and 5 part-time.
All right.
So,
So you put a lot of hours in that.
yes, yes.
What got you into this?
Actually, a friend of mine called me one day. I was looking for a job when the economy was horrible.
Radio on 2.
Okay.
Okay.
So you were telling me how you got to get into
Yeah.
this job.
Yes. A friend of mine called me and told me that there was a position open, and I thought it would be quite interesting. Of course, who doesn't think it would be? And so I came and I interviewed, and there were quite a few of us at that time that interviewed, and originally someone else got the position, but that didn't work out, so then they called me, and I've been here ever since.
Okay.
So.
You were saying before we actually came on tape that you have a certain department usually in each one.
Correct.
Okay, which one do you have though?
Shannon and I are the 2 full-time dispatchers on this rotation, and so every day we'll switch. So today I'm dispatching the police. Shannon is doing the fire department, and now Corky's taking the phone calls.
Okay.
So we all have something that we're doing. Corky will be the main call taker, and then we just take whatever comes in. And they actually try to keep whoever's dispatching police off the phone as much as possible because you want to be able to give 100% to them. But sometimes you just can't. That doesn't work out.
What's your most calls about? Is it
Gosh,
or
I
is
don't
it a
know.
split between fire and police?
I would say the majority of calls that come in are for the police department.
Are they?
Yeah, but we do get a lot of rescues also. You know, people just calling for different reasons, and
And of course, you said you take non-emergency calls too.
non-emergency. Yep, yep.
So,
So
how do you deal with that?
That, it could be for administration, it could be for records department, the detective bureau, whoever they're calling for. And then if it's for Wyandotte, we have to transfer within the building. If it's for another city, we have to advise them that they have to call back on their direct line and hit the option for that department, because we don't have the ability to transfer calls to different departments in different cities. You know.
But at least you give them a lead. And they know
Right,
what direction to go.
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. When we talked to John Truitt, I said, what's the most important thing? He says, you people have to keep the people on the other side calm so you can understand what their situation is.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, well, because you get all kinds of different situations. You get domestics, you get fights, you know. It could just be about anything, and some people, they call and it would be like you and I talking right here, but other people could call and they're completely hysterical, so you have to try and calm them down just so you can get an address so you know where you're sending your officers, you know, or rescue, you know. And sometimes that can be difficult, you know. Shanna just had a call a few minutes ago that it took her a while, you know, to get the gentleman calmed down. I mean, for a good reason, but, you know.
But you can't help them unless you understand.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes.
I think that was the reason the cable 911 graphic went up, because during that time, you apparently were getting a lot of calls, and sometimes people wanted to ask, well, how come they ask all those questions?
Well, we have to. I mean, number one, you know, we have to know where you are. That's the most important thing, and that's what people don't get. Number two, we need to know what's going on, and we need a lot of information, because we can't just send our officers in blind.
Right.
You know, especially if it's a domestic or a fight. You know, I understand people get angry that we ask so many questions, but I'm trying to protect you, but I need to protect my officers at the same time, or my fire department. So that's why we need to know, are there weapons there? You know, can you describe the person who is fighting with you, or even give names so that we can let the officers know, because it's unfortunate, but a lot of the same names come up a lot of times.
To repeat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if we can get a name and tell them, they may already know who that person is, so they can prepare how to deal with them.
Yeah.
But, you know, and like I said, I understand why people get angry that we ask so many questions, but we have to protect them and to protect our officers. It's, you know, there's no getting around it.
Okay.
So
We appreciate you taking time, because
When should I dial 911?
we always tell people life and death situations. Please do not call 911 for a dog running down the road. Now, if it's vicious, absolutely. If it's attacking people, absolutely. But if it's just a lost dog trying to find its way home, don't call 911. Or, you know, if it's a car parked on the side of the road that's been there for 3 days, you don't need to call 911 for that. We really want 911 to be for life and death situations. If you're in that domestic situation, that you're fighting with somebody and things are going on, absolutely. You know, if, you know, you see a fight somewhere, or someone just got robbed, or, you know, there's so many circumstances that you could, you know, put under 911, but those are the real true emergencies that we want people to call 911 for. Not, like I said, the...
Okay, you just worked 8 hours. You had a situation involving maybe the death of a child, or a house fire where a family was killed, something really traumatic that you had to dispatch for. Your shift is over. You're going to go home now and live your life. How do you separate the dispatcher from the person?
Well, I'll tell you truthfully, I think each one of us in this room has experienced all of those already. we've dealt with the death of a child, or we've dealt with a family or individual who has been in a fire and is found deceased. And it's very hard, and I'm not going to say it's not, because a lot of people outside of work don't understand exactly what you go through in here. They think you're just in here taking a phone call, and it's not.
You get involved.
Right, and your emotions get involved.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very hard to walk out the door and cut it off, but you have to, and hopefully you have a good support system at home that you can go to and, at least talk to and have them understand, just so you have that person to talk to,
Just sort of relieve your
Right,
system.
because you do. You have to cut it off, because you can't take a lot of it home with you, because if you do, it's going to ruin you. It's truly going to ruin you. But, having a support system at home or with friends, that, we'll call each other after we get off and,
Right.
talk about it, and that always helps. So.
It's probably the same situation with the police officers.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And it's probably even worse for them, because, we take the phone calls, but then they have to actually go out there and see what's going on. So I would say that it's even worse for them in that respect.
Do you ever get to the point, though, you get yourself involved in a case and you have to sort of ask the police officer later on, like, what happened?
Yes, yeah, that happens a lot, because we honestly don't get to see the end result of a lot of the calls.
Right.
So, and especially if it happens in a different city. If it's here in Wyandotte, as you see, the officers are here, so we can talk to them and find out what's going on. But if it's in a different city, we might have to call them, or or get in touch with them some way to see what happened, because otherwise we don't always know. So.
I know you're going to be busy. We appreciate at least
Oh,
the time.
no problem.
Gives us an insight of what happens behind the police doors,
In here, a lot. I don't even know what to start. Our phones, God, I don't even know where to start. There's just so much that goes on in here.
Okay.
And it changes from day to day,
Okay.
And
I think we can say for the city, thank you, because
Well, thank
you
you.
are first responders.
Well, thank
before
you.
the other ones actually get
We
involved.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
We really do appreciate that, because, a lot of people don't realize, like I said, exactly what we do in here.
That's true.
So,
That's why I said we had to come to get a bird's eye view a little bit, and I know you're busy. We appreciate
No
the time you
problem.
gave us. So
no problem. I thank you. I appreciate it.
thanks, Vic. We thank the chief of police for making the connection, and we had a chance to go and talk to the first dispatching team before even the fire or the EMS all get to the scene. Okay, our Mayor Pro Tem was at a meeting, but he called in and he's given us a message. Okay, take care.
I would like to start out by saying I got some good news for a lot of residents who've been asking about the recycling center. It is going to be opening this Wednesday, tomorrow, August 26th. The hours Monday through Friday are 8 o'clock to 7:30 p.m., 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays, 12 o'clock noon to 4 p.m. So September 30th, then the winter hours will kick in. And this will be open for all recycling, cardboard, glass, tin, everything that's out there. What I want to talk about next is upcoming meetings, council meetings, and what to look for and to expect. Regarding future council meetings, this is intended to eliminate much of the confusion that has ensued with the planning of the city council meetings. Although the current restrictions on gathering does not include business meetings, I understand the difficulty in addressing the executive orders by the governor in a safe and legal manner, as well as the challenges that occur with the technology and our own personal knowledge limitations on how to use it. So it is hoped that this can be avoided in the future by outlining our meeting expectations for the next council meeting, and until restrictions are relaxed by the governor, please expect the following arrangements to facilitate. 1, the city council members will convene in the city council chambers as they would a normal meeting. 2, this meeting will be televised live on cable television. 3, the public will be allowed to attend in person. 4, arrangements will be made to allow the public to call into the meeting if they do not feel comfortable attending in person. The number to call in is 1-888-475-4499. And then it'll prompt you for an ID number, and the ID number is 992-636-8831. Number 5, department heads will only be required to attend if they have an item on the agenda. Otherwise, you can participate remotely via Zoom as we have in the past. 6, in order to provide as much social distancing as possible for the public, department heads who attend will be watching the meeting in the mayor's conference room and be available to answer questions or provide additional information as necessary. Safe distancing will be practiced on the council chambers and for the audience, as well as around the horseshoe. And we ask that everybody who does attend to wear a mask. I will get to an item regarding masks in a little bit. What I want to do now is just read some executive order. This one here is executive order 129. This is temporary authorization of remote participation in public meetings and hearings and temporary relief for monthly meetings, requirements for school boards and government meetings. And I'm just going to read part of it. It's quite very lengthy. But again, we're holding a meeting in person and by Zoom, virtual, electronically. To mitigate the spread of COVID-19, to protect the public and provide essential protections to vulnerable Michiganders, it is crucial that all Michiganders take steps to limit in-person contact. These critical mitigation measures include social distancing and limiting the number of people interacting at public gatherings. To that end, it is reasonable and necessary to temporarily suspend rules and procedures relating to physical presence at meetings and hearings of public bodies and other governmental entities in Michigan. These public bodies and entities must continue to conduct public business during this emergency, including actions to respond to COVID-19. General public must be able to continue to participate in government decision-making without unduly compromising public health, safety, and welfare. To the extent of the Open Meetings Act requires that a meeting of a public body be held in a physical place available to the general public, or requires the physical presence of one or more members of a public body, strict compliance with Section 3 of the Open Meetings Act is temporarily suspended in order to alleviate any such physical place presence requirements as follows. A meeting of a public body may be held electronically, including by telephonic conferencing or video conferencing, in a manner in which both the general public and the members of the public body may participate by electronic means. If a public body directly or indirectly maintains an official internet presence, the public body must, consistent with, in addition to any other applicable notice requirements under the Open Meetings Act, post advance notice of a meeting held electronically on portion of the public body's website that is fully accessible to the public. The public notice on the website must be included on either the homepage or on a separate webpage dedicated to public notices for non-regularly scheduled public meetings or electronic meetings and accessible through prominent and conspicuous link on the website's homepage that clearly describes its purpose for the public notification of those non-regularly scheduled electronic public meetings. Notice of a meeting of a public body that would be held electronically must include the following. Before I say that, this will also be posted on the doors at City Hall. An explanation of the reason why the public body is meeting electronically, detailed procedures by which the public may participate in the meeting remotely, including a telephone number, internet address, or both, which I gave those numbers earlier. The reason why the public body, I mentioned that as far as people that aren't comfortable in attending in person. The third reason, procedures by which persons may contact members of the public body to provide input or ask questions on any business that will come before the public body at the meeting. 4, procedures by which persons with disabilities may participate in the meeting. The right of a person to participate in a meeting of a public body held electronically includes the right to tape record, to videotape, to broadcast live on radio, and to telecast live on television the proceedings of the public body at a public meeting. The exercise of this right does not depend on the prior approval of the public body. However, a public body may establish reasonable rules and regulations to minimize the possibility of disrupting the meeting. And then it goes on, and here's another part I want to point out. A person must not be excluded from a meeting held electronically, otherwise open to the public, except for a breach of the peace actually committed during the meeting. So both of those statements there, somebody's unruly and out of hand because they're on the telephone and not in person and might use language that should not be used in public, they can be muted right off the system. There's many other requirements of the Open Meeting Act, but anyway, I want to bring those out as far as what we're trying to do is accommodate everybody who wants to come there in person that's comfortable with it, or stay at home and do it by Zoom, on the telephone, or just watch the regular council meeting, and as well as call in on the telephone, be part of the meeting if they have something they would like to address the mayor and council about. The other item I'd like to speak about is masks. This is Executive Order 153, and what it says here, the requirements to wear a face covering does not apply to individuals who, and I'm going to read them all. And a lot of these I think people are familiar with. A younger than 5-year-old or children 2 years old and older are strongly encouraged to wear a face covering pursuant to guidance from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. B, cannot medically tolerate a face covering. C, are eating or drinking while seated at a food service establishment. D, are exercising when wearing a face covering would interfere in the activity. E, are receiving a service for which temporary removal of the face covering is necessary to perform the service. F, are entering a business or are receiving a service and are asked to temporarily remove a face covering for identification purposes.